According to Saleem's Safi, Sheikh Rashid Ahmad's style of politics and style of speech can be disagreed with, and I am also one of the critics of his politics, but there can be no two opinions that he is a head-to-toe politics. He started politics as a boy, and while doing politics, now that he has joined the ranks of elders, he is still more active than young politicians. In recent days, his book, From Lal Haveli to the United Nations, has been published, in which he has made some confessions. These confessions become even more important as it make it easier to understand the background of the current political turmoil. On page 196 of his book, Sheikh Sahib writes about the first government of Nawaz Sharif, in which Sheikh Sahib was also a minister. The performance of our ambassadors' visits to important countries of the world has not been satisfactory. Probably this was the reason why Nawaz Sharif was unaware of General Aslam Beg's dealings with Rafsanjani in Iran. Sheikh Rashid Ahmad goes on to write on page 199 about Nawaz Sharif's style of governing. I have seen within Nawaz Sharif the yearning for roads, railways, airports, health facilities, increase in tourism and improvement of hospitals. Even during the floods, Sartaj Aziz had strong objections to the distribution of aid to the victims, but Nawaz Sharif strictly delivered aid money from village to village. Nawaz Sharif would land his helicopter in a village where he would see someone putting mud in the bricks of houses destroyed by the floods, or if a woman was raped, and during the floods he would reach the place where the helicopter could not land. Three things were a major obstacle in Nawaz Sharif's vision for progress in Pakistan. He had sensed Ishaq Khan's intentions long ago. The activities of General Asif Nawaz and General Aslam Beg kept disturbing him. Sheikh Rashid Ahmad has written very harsh words about his fellow minister Khusro Bahatiyar, anti-leader Khurshid Mahmood Kasuri in the current cabinet, saying that they were singing the tune of India. On page 290 of his book, he writes, Khusro Bahatiyar was a child to me. He had no status. At that time, he was a minister of state, but both Kasuri and Khusro Bahatiyar were singing tune of India. They wanted to keep light hands on Pakistani corpses and unjust treatment with Pakistan for the sake of India's friendship. Sheikh Rashid also wrote in his book that the 2014 sit-ins were planned in London, but Imran Khan and Tahirul Qadri continued to deny it. On page 320, Sheikh Sahib writes, both Imran Khan and Tahirul Qadri were striving for revolution and freedom struggle, and a meeting took place between them in London which was denied by both of them. Sheikh Sahib made one of the most important revelations in his book, or the confession that the decision to attack the National Assembly and PTV was taken by all, Imran Khan, Tahirul Qadri and Sheikh Rashid, together. On pages 323 and 324, Sheikh Sahib writes about the sit-ins. When we decided that in the evening, we had to attack the National Assembly and PTV, and a joint camp of Tahirul Qadri and Imran Khan came to an end. When we left, the police carried out a horrific attack and charged us with severe beatings. Bullets were fired and then some people were martyred, but the road could not be blocked. As we were walking towards the National Assembly and PTV office, Javed Hashmi tried to stop Imran Khan and explained a lot, but Imran Khan was adamant that he should go. Javed Hashmi got angry and got out of the container. I don't think he came to the container after that. When Imran Khan was talking about civil disobedience, I asked him not to talk about civil disobedience, at least, if our government comes tomorrow. People will ridicule us, and especially you use such words in your speech which you will have to pay the price tomorrow. When he asked which words I have said, I said that you have pointed your finger. He laughed at that. I guess Imran Khan doesn't care what anyone advises him or what people say. He was mentally ready to overthrow Nawaz Sharif's government anyway. There would come resignations of the assembly. There he would start the campaign. The Veterans Organization also called for new elections. Eventually, Altaf Hussain also decided to form a new assembly. During this period, in the last days of August, Raheel Sharif and Tahirul Qadri had a very detailed meeting. And the photo was printed in which Jahangir train was driving and Imran Khan was sitting in the front seat with an expression of happiness on his face that the movement was going to be successful. But a solution was now being sought for Imran Khan's and Tahirul Qadri's movement on how to decide it through the judiciary, and Raheel Sharif suggested that a committee of judges be formed to look into the matter and find a solution. Nowadays we are asking Maulana Fazlur Rahman not to use religious cards while the government is criticizing him for using religious cards. But in this book, Sheikh Sahib has proudly admitted to using the religious card against the Nawaz Sharif government. On page 339, Sheikh Sahib writes that, another benefit of this movement was that I made a strong speech against Zahid Hamed in the National Assembly. I said that Zahid Hamed has links with the Qadianis. The whole nation rallied against Zahid Hamed. It was also demanded that Zahid Hamed resign. Zahed Hamid was so scared that he decided to resign. I also had clashed with Zahed Hamid in the National Assembly. Zahed Hamid tried to justify himself, but I considered Zahed Hamid involved in this conspiracy, so I did not step back from the resignation of Zahed Hamid, and in negotiations and every matter, demand of Zahed Hamid's resignation was included, which he eventually has to do. Dear friends, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and share with your friends for more interesting stories and articles. Thank you.